we're going to be doing part 2, which basically is the same as part 1. Just more practice. We might have more steps. Yeah. But we just went over what all these different words mean. So we're going to be practicing writing all those words down again. I'm going to have you get out a blank piece of paper, and just so you can get all the vocab down. But so how can I translate 18 subtracted from a number equals 31? And let's use n for the number. So what do you think? 18 subtracted from a number. Can't hear you. 18 by n. So what should I write? My question is it 18 minus n, or is it n minus 18? So 18 subtracted from. Subtracted from. So what if it was 18 subtracted from 19? What would you do? What would you say 18 subtracted from 19 equals?
-1.
18 subtracted from 19 is would be 1. Yeah. 18 subtracted from 19 would be 1. What's 18 subtracted from 20? 2. So you can see we're doing the number minus 18. So we actually want number minus 18 equals 31. Very important that we know the difference. So on your sheet, you can put an asterisk next to this one for subtraction. Subtracted from, you have to reverse the order. What was the other one that you had to reverse the order on? Remember? It's on the original small sheet we did. We'll go over that when we come through. Write that on your sheet just to make sure you have it. How about number 2? What number decreased by 77 equals, it should be negative 18? What does this word mean? Subtracted. So let's use again the number. Let's use n. What would you say a number decreased by 77 equals negative 18? So what do I write for an equation? Decreased by? Minus. Right? 77. Negative 18. And solve. So we add 18. Add 77 to both sides. Right? You should be writing this down, by the way. Negative 18 plus 77 or 77 minus 18. Let's see. $59. 59 minus 77 equals negative 18. Let's skip down to 4. says 2 times the sum. What does sum mean?
Um,
Okay, no, that's going to be addition. What are we adding together? Okay, so a number and negative 43. Okay, so let's do a number plus negative 43. But how do we deal with this 2 times? It's 2 times this whole thing. So what would be a good way of, meaning it's 2 times n and 2 times the negative 43. So how can we make sure that both get multiplied by 2? Distributive, which means we need to add parentheses. Let's actually use brackets. So you can see here, the red is just the sum part. But in order to make sure I multiply everything by 2, I gotta insert some brackets. So this is a little bit different. We're having parentheses now. That's why this is part 2. And of course this equals part 2. Now this is on our quiz. What's the first step I should do? What's the very first thing I should simplify? It has nothing to do with numbers, I'll give you that, or variables. It's the signs here. The first thing you want to do is make sure you simplify the signs. A positive and negative. What does that mean? You add a negative, you get a negative. First thing you want to do is simplify. Simplify your double signs. And then go ahead and solve. Get that. But new terminology. So when you see the sum of, that's a hint for using parentheses or brackets or phrases. Go on to back. Here you can see some fractions. Go ahead and help me translate this. What does this translate to? What's that? 1/3. Okay. Then equals times what?
Times
N. Okay. 4x. Good.
minus 3.
Very good. And what would be the first step to solve such a problem? What would be the first step here? Here's a variable. I want to get it by itself. Zero parent. How would I do that?
You add 3.
Add 3. Okay. Writing this down. Good. And what is 1/3 plus 3? Let's go off to the side. 2 ways of doing this. Right? You can either say, well, 3 is the same as 3/3, and then you get 3 plus 1 is 4 thirds. That's one way. Or you can remember that 3 plus 1 third is the same as 3 and 1 third. And convert. That should be 9 thirds, right? Not 1 third, 9 thirds. Try that again. 9 plus 1 is 10. There we go. 10 thirds. Nine over 3 equals 3, right? 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then, or you can just combine these together, and we have 3 times 3 plus 1, which is also 10 thirds. Two ways. Last step would be to divide by -7. So this will be the sum right here. Divide by -7. How do we divide 10 thirds by -7?
Split it over 1.
Right. So you might remember 10 thirds divided by -7 is the same as 10 thirds times a -1/7. Multiply by the reciprocal, and then you can finish it up. -10 on top, 21 on the bottom, and you can leave your answer as a fraction. So you're going to have a lot more fractions to work with. You're required to do a little more arithmetic off to the side.
So you're going to put is equal to
Tomorrow, listen, tomorrow, also, you'll have time to finish this for half the class, and then you'll take a small quiz on all this translating.
Have you seen that video where they